Ready for a deep dive into the future of farming.
Always.
Today, we're taking a look at Farminaut.
Oh, cool.
They're using some seriously cutting-edge tech. We're talking satellites, AI, the whole nine yards.
It's incredible how they're tackling this challenge that, honestly, doesn't always get the attention it deserves, crop diseases.
Yeah, it's easy to think about things like drought or floods when we talk about threats to agriculture,
Right.
but crop diseases, they're like this silent threat.
They're a huge deal. We're talking about massive losses of crops, which obviously impacts food supply.
And it's not just the food itself, right? It's the wasted resources, the economic hit that farmers take.
Exactly. And on a global scale, it can even threaten food security, which is a pretty big deal.
For sure.
These diseases, whether it's fungi, bacteria, viruses, they can wipe out entire harvests.
And for farmers already dealing with so much, it's got to be incredibly stressful. One day everything's fine, and then boom, disease hits.
It's a constant worry, especially with climate change, making things even more unpredictable.
Absolutely. It's amazing how Farminaut is using technology to tackle this, though.
It really is. It's like something straight out of sci-fi.
Totally. So how does this all work? Satellites, AI, expert advice, how do these things all fit together?
Well, it's about combining those three key elements into a system that really packs a punch. You've got satellite monitoring, AI diagnosis, and then, of course, you have that human element expert advice.
Okay, so let's break that down. First up, satellites. We know they take pictures from space, but how do we get from a picture to, like, this field needs more water or watch out for disease?
Well, think of it less like a simple photograph and more like a health scan, but for your crops.
I like it.
These satellites pick up on really subtle changes, things you or I probably wouldn't even notice. Changes in color, light reflection, even temperature can all be early warning signs of stress or disease in plants.
So the satellite is basically sending a message like, hey, farmer, something's up here.
Exactly. And that's where the AI comes in. It takes all that data from the satellite and compares it to this massive database of crop conditions and diseases.
Like a superpowered plant doctor in the cloud.
Pretty much. It can analyze those subtle changes and say, okay, this looks like the early stages of blight, or this field could use a nitrogen boost.
That's amazing. But then they take it a step further by actually connecting farmers with human experts. Why is that so important?
Because technology can only take you so far. You still need that human expertise, that ability to look at the bigger picture.
Right, like every farm is different, every piece of land is different.
Exactly. So Farminaut connects farmers with these experts who can give personalized advice based on the AI findings and their own knowledge.
That makes a lot of sense. So it's like having a high-tech farming assistant and a personal consultant all rolled into one.
Exactly. And the best part, all of this is accessible through their mobile app. So farmers can literally have all this information at their fingertips, wherever they are.
Wow. So even if you're not a tech whiz, you can still benefit from this.
Exactly.
It's really incredible what they've been able to do, you know?
It really is.
Like, they're not just throwing fancy tech around for the sake of it.
No, not at all.
They're solving real-world problems that farmers face every single day.
Absolutely. And when you think about the sheer scale of the challenges facing agriculture right now,
Right.
climate change, growing populations, it's crucial that we find these solutions.
So let's talk about those solutions. What are some of the tangible benefits that Farminaut brings to the table?
Well, early detection and prevention is a big one. Catching diseases early, before they have a chance to really take hold, that's key.
Makes sense. Saves the farmer a lot of headaches down the line.
Exactly. It means you can take action before an entire field is infected.
And that saves money, right?
Yeah.
Because treating a small problem is a lot cheaper than treating a big one.
Oh, absolutely. And it's not just the cost of treatment itself. You're also reducing the potential for crop loss, which directly impacts a farmer's income.
Right, right. And less waste overall, too.
Exactly. Sustainability is another major benefit because when you can target treatments more precisely, you're using fewer chemicals overall.
And that's good for the environment, good for the consumer.
Good for everyone. It's about finding that balance between protecting our food supply and protecting our planet.
And speaking of protecting our food supply, Farminaut's AI diagnosis, that seems like a game changer for farmers.
Yeah.
Because knowing exactly what you're dealing with, that's half the battle.
Right. It's huge. Because if you misdiagnose a crop disease, you could end up using the wrong treatment, which is just wasting time and money.
And potentially making the problem even worse, right?
Exactly. But with accurate AI diagnoses, farmers can be confident that they're making the right decisions for their crops.
It's like they're getting the information they need right when they need it. So it's not just about the technology itself, but about how that technology empowers farmers to make better decisions.
Empowerment. That's the perfect word for it.
So what's next for Pharmanaut? What's on the horizon for this technology?
Well, they're constantly innovating. They're looking into using drones for even more detailed monitoring, and they're working on predictive models that could anticipate potential problems before they even arise.
It's incredible to think about what they might come up with next. Using satellites and AI to diagnose crops from space, it sounds like something straight out of a movie, but it's happening right now. And for anyone listening who's as blown away by this technology as we are, we encourage you to head over to Pharmanaut's website and see what they're up to. You won't be disappointed.